welcome to hashtag Spina Bifida. Kids are way smarter than we think they are. And if you're in a wheelchair or you have spina bifida similar to mine, they're definitely going to notice it and they are definitely going to ask questions. So how do you explain this birth defect to a child? Well, to be honest, it depends on the age of the child. Growing up with spina bifida, for the medical aspect, I had to grow up fast. So my doctors did use a little bit of easy terms for me to understand, but after a while, I had to learn it. But for kids without the birth defect, they're not expected to know all these fancy terms. Many of you don't know, but I am an aunt. I have been an aunt since before I was even born. I have 2 older nephews. I have about 14 nieces and nephews, and so as they've grown up, I have learned how to explain to them, what their titi is how we say aunt in Spanish, what their titi has. So when a child is, able to talk, they're around 4, 5, 6 years old, they're gonna see my scar, they're gonna see how I walk, and they're gonna ask what is wrong. At that age, my mom's taught me, and I've learned to just tell them, oh, Titi has a boo-boo. So for my nieces and nephews, for a while that sufficed. They would say, oh, I'm sorry, and they would kiss my scar, and they would get that it's something that's a bit wrong, but you're okay. When they get to around 7 or 10, most of my nieces and nephews, they realize, Titi has a problem that she has to go to the hospital and the doctors will help fix. When they get to around 10, we start really explaining it's called spina bifida. It just means that Titi's spine is a little bit different than yours. Now, most of my nieces and nephews who are older, they know what I have. They know that it's a birth defect. They know what a birth defect is. They don't know all the specifics with spina bifida, but mostly they know my aunt has this and she gets surgery to help keep her alive. Mostly their main concern is, am I healthy and am I going to be okay? So I think to tell kids you have spina bifida, you have to go through their age range. You can start with boo-boos. It's something relatable that they understand. And as they get older and start learning more, you give them more information. So if you have a birth defect, if you have something else that's wrong with you that a child can notice, don't be afraid to start explaining it to them. You don't have to get very medical about it. You can just find a way to explain it in ways that they can understand. That's just what a kid is being about. They're curious and they want to learn, and it's a great opportunity for you to explain your disability. So I hope that helps in having to explain to children about your birth defect. If you have any questions about spina bifida or you'd like to know anything else, leave them in the comments below and I will be sure to answer them. And until next time, bye!
When I was a kid, a lot of kids didn't understand about my spina bifida. And if you went to elementary school with me, then 5th grade, 6th grade, you already know this. But I used to do little projects about my disability. My teacher let me do projects about my disability, and me and my mama would come up to the school and present a presentation about my disability. And not only would it help my grades, but it'll inform kids on my disability. So, I did that a couple times. Like I said, it might have been 5th and 6th grade, or it might have just been 5th. It might have just been 5th, you know what I'm saying? But, what was I finna say? Oh, yeah. I feel like it's important to teach kids these things, man, because you never know. What if they grow up and then they have kids and then their kids end up with spina bifida? Or what if they marry somebody or date somebody that ends up with spina bifida? Or just any disability, whatever disability you got. I'm just speaking on spina bifida because that's what this video is about and that's what I have. So that's what I'm speaking on. And another thing I wanted to say was, we got to teach people, and we got to teach them young kids. We got to teach them that it's not cool to talk about people. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what your situation is. If I got spina bifida, kids shouldn't talk about me. If a kid has cancer, the other kids shouldn't talk about the kid that got cancer. If the kids got HIV, you shouldn't talk about them. If the kid is sick with lupus, you shouldn't talk about him. Just things like that, I feel like that's important because talking about people for one is wrong, and then for two, the same person that's talking about the person that has something wrong with them wouldn't want them to talk about them if the if the cars was reversed. If you take the sickness from the person getting talked about and give it to the person that's doing the talking about, they wouldn't want to get talked about. So we got to teach our kids, and we got to teach these kids in general that talking about people is wrong, man. Like, you're not gonna get anywhere in life insulting somebody else physically or verbally, unless it's to defend yourself. That's the only thing that should be advocated, basically. But yeah, man. 263 or 262 subscribers. I forgot how much, but I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all keep supporting me, man. I'm finna hit y'all with a bunch of videos today, man. So be on the lookout.